Vajayjay Diaries. I'm Dr. Nat Kringoudis, Doctor of Chinese Medicine, and we are here today to talk about fertility. Now, before I lose your attention because of the word fertility, I want you to understand that fertility, it's not just about babies. It's about having a thriving reproductive system. So this entry reads, I've been trying for a baby for the last 4 years, have had a number of tests done on me, and still there is no clue as to why I can't fall pregnant. I've been referred to a specialist about 3 years ago for further investigations, and I'm now in my final stages of IVF. I always thought that I might have some form of PCOS, although docs never found any evidence that I have. I've had enough meds to get me on the process, but nothing's actually working. I've even turned to acupuncture. I've had failed rounds of IVF, and I have ovulated enough to take it further, and one failed IVF attempt under my belt. So I decided to take 3 months off treatment to get my body back before we go back for further treatments. And the doctor has given me metformin to help improve my egg quality. So we need to answer why it's important to get her body back on track. But before we do that, I think it's important to understand that we are prescribed sometimes things like metformin that we might see as a magic bullet to fix the problem. And unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way when it comes to our hormones. We need to make sure we're putting our best foot forward when it comes to not only conception, especially IVF. Not only is it expensive, it's extremely stressful. And how can we do that? So speaking of stress, that's where I would say we need to begin. Stress can be many things, but very often we're in the habit of being stressed, that we don't know how to choose ease anymore. So when you're feeling yourself ramping up and feeling very anxious or stressed about something, it might be important to check in and just ask yourself, what am I choosing? Am I choosing to stress about something that doesn't actually warrant stress? Or is this actually a situation where I can lose it and be stressed? And it can be quite profound. The other thing I would encourage you to look at is your diet. Now, there's several elements that your body needs to make hormones. Fats and protein are two things that are really important. They're the building blocks of your hormones. But also we need to decrease, for many of us, the amount of sugar that we're eating. It depletes things like qi and blood. These are Chinese medicine terms that we utilise. And it can really mean that we're not able to assimilate our nutrients properly and we're not fueling our body well. So we want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward there too. And the other thing that I would suggest that we look at is our environment. Now, there are many things in our environment, toxins, pollutants, there's things that we put on our skin. They all contain chemicals. And whilst we can't live our lives wrapped in bubble wrap, unfortunately, we can minimise toxin exposure. So we'd want to move away from some of these things where possible because they will disrupt our hormones. They're just 3 really easy things that you can start to do to prepare your body not only for conception, but to balance your hormones across the board.